Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This week's chapter is chapter 1051, Shogun of Wano, Kozuki Momonosuke. The art for this week's chapter is the aftermath of Reiju and Ichiji showing up to save their siblings. Big explosion just happening behind them as they walk away because, cool guys don't look at explosions. I'm interested to see what's going to happen after this. It's probably going to be Cracker showing up to fight them. And I don't know how well that's going to... Well, actually, maybe Snack could be a part of that, too. If Cracker and Snack work together, I mean, they were Big Mom's third and fourth highest subordinates, so they're definitely nothing to blow wind at. I'm sure Germa Double Six will get away because this is about them, but I think that all depends on whether or not Katakuri is healed enough to be a part of this. So that's pretty much all I have to say on the art right now as the cover story continues on. So the chapter itself begins with the people of Wano calming down because they find out this big scary dragon is not Kaido, but instead is the new shogun, which they've been told is Momo. Emerging from the smoke and clouds comes Kinemon, though, and all the other scabbards to reveal that, hey, we're back 20 years later, we got the band back together, Kaido's been defeated, and behold, our Lord Momonosuke. And Oda holds off on showing us his human form for a bit. But Momonosuke then starts giving us a big speech, talking about the trials and tribulations of Wano, how he set out to sea with Kinemon to find allies to help defeat Kaido. It's very reminiscent of Vivi's speech, if you want my opinion, which you would because you're watching this video. But it reminds me of Vivi's speech from Alabasta, how she talked about how she went out to sea, how she found, valiant heroes to help her. Although Momo is less inclined to hide the fact that they're pirates. So I kind of like that about it. The speech goes on throughout the entire chapter, but it is very heartwarming and eventually results in Momo saying that he is the new shogun. And then he just kind of stands there for a moment and he leans over and he's just like, Kinemon, I'm out of things to say. And Keen's sitting there next to him. He just goes, fake it till you make it. And Momo tells them, my name means second to none. And I am the new Shogun of Wano, Kozuki Momonosuke. And we get to see his human look, which I'll admit, dude definitely inherited his father's eyebrow game, but has a nice curved chin. So good for him. Yeah, he actually is one of the more handsome characters Oda's drawn, if I may say. He's he's still an 8-year-old in his head, so I'm interested to see where that goes. I'm sure he's got a lot of quick growing up to do, that he's gonna definitely need Kinemon's help, and I'm sure even his sister's gonna be super helpful in that. Speaking of which, we do see Hiyori finally get to hug her brother and cry, so it's nice to have the full families back together, or at least what's left of it, plus all the scabbards, and Wano truly does have their shogun. Meanwhile, inside of Onigashima, the Straw Hats finally get to meet Yamato, minus Zoro, who's currently passed out. And you get the entire spectrum across the board of reactions to her. So Yamato, they find out Yamato is the child of Kaido, so they're all getting ready, Nami and Usopp are panicking, Frankie gets his weapons out, they're all getting ready for another fight, only to have Yamato turn around and tell them, whoa, hang on, no, I've actually been following you guys in the newspaper, huge fan of your work, give me one sec, and she starts berating some of Kaido's men who are trying to escape. So Yamato's kind of like ringleadering them all together to either come back and take responsibility, or for those of you who helped Chopper, good job down in the entertainment floor. So regardless, Yamato wrangles up the remaining before turning to the Straw Hats and telling them, I like to go by Kozuki Oden, but you can also call me Yamato. I will be joining you guys out on the ocean. And again, you get the whole range of reactions from the Straw Hat crew, which, interestingly enough, is the current range of reactions from the fandom right now. You got Usopp and Nami, who are both very shocked by this. You got Frankie, who seems a little angry, maybe just more of because of this is a split-second decision for this person we don't know. Robin thinks it's entertaining because, well, let's be honest, Robin's the other member of the crew who sort of just showed up and said, I live here now. You got Brooke and Sanji, who are pretty much, there's only two reasons why they're interested in Yamato joining. Two very obvious reasons. But personally, my response lines up the most with Jinbei's. You can't just make that decision on your own. We're going to have to see what the captain says. In my opinion, I don't know how I feel about Yamato. I feel like, yes, Yamato was an extreme help to defeating Kaido, has a good backstory, had a nice little connection to Ace, but if we're talking about quality of backstory, connection to Ace, and their help in defeating Kaido, Tama should join the crew as well. They have equal credentials. I think what confounds me about Yamato, maybe I should make this its own video, just because there's so many different factors and I have conflicted emotions, but for me personally, I'm with Jinbei. If Luffy says it's okay, or in my case, if Oda says this is what's happening, then I trust the judgment of the writer. I've been reading One Piece for well over a decade now. Oda hasn't upset me yet, so if Yamato joins, I look forward to seeing her interact with the rest of the crew, because really we've only seen Yamato talk to Luffy. I would like to see how the rest of the crew merges with her. Aside from that, there's really not much else to say on this. Yamato may or may not be joining the Straw Hat crew. Going back to Tama, though, we learn a little more about her power as she explains to Usopp and Nami. Her power wears off when the moon cycle changes. So, in short, she only controls an animal for a month. After which, depending on the disposition of the animal, it either goes back to its normal life or it chooses to stay with her. Speed even mentions, I really hope I get to stay with you, Master Tama, and Tama responds with, well, I don't really want to see you like a servant, I kind of want to see you like a mom. I hope you can stay with me forever. And she even oh, my heart, oh, it was just so cute. So, obviously, a lot of Beast pirates are going to want to go back to being vicious pirates, but I think some, Speed included, are going to want to stay and be, maybe not Tama's servants, but maybe just stay and be members of Wano as a whole. Maybe just citizens of Wano now. Tama also starts overhearing Momonosuke's speech and how the war is finally over, and it finally sinks in to this little girl that after all the years of hat making and starving, the death of her parents, being raised by Tenguyama, Tama finally gets to be free. And it just sort of sinks in that she can finally eat as much as she wants, and it's all thanks to Luffy, and she just starts crying. It's heartwarming. It is. So, yeah, it's fine. It seems to finally be over. The big thing that confounds me, the big thing that worries me is Udon Prison, the big explosion that happened over there. We see Babadookie sort of yelling at the other guys not to watch the video feed, we got bigger problems on our hands. So I'm interested, was that explosion Big Mom and Kaido's deaths? Or was that big explosion Big Mom and Kaido rising forth from the magma and starting their way towards Onigashima? The thing we're leaving out about Big Mom is, unlike Kaido, who took a big knockout punch from Luffy, Big Mom's still raring to go. She just got pushed out of the ring. Kid and Law, they did a number on her, but they didn't defeat her. They just got her to go away. They took out Prometheus, so she couldn't fly. They took out Hera, so she couldn't fly. And they sent her plummeting down to the magma chamber. If Big Mom can turn fire itself into a homie, what is going to stop her from doing the same to magma? Personally, I think we need to keep an eye out for the next few chapters. This may be a Paper Mario Lava Lava Island kind of scenario, where after defeating the big lava piranha and it fell down and, Mario got the star points and got the EXP and the saved the star spirit, that's when the volcano started erupting. A big theme for Kaido is turning people's hope into despair, breaking their spirit. What would break the people of Wano more than finding out that Momonosuke is back, the scabbards have returned, Kaido is defeated, only to see a giant magma monster heading towards them. Especially with Luffy out of commission like this. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that something horrible like that doesn't happen, but be on your toes. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.